Yeah, man.
I haven't done it in years.
Yeah.
I used to do this shit all the time when I was like cool for a living.
You're pretty cool right now.
Well, where we're at here is on what we like to call the Lower Salmon River, which the Salmon River is 420 miles long, ironically enough. And we're out on a smallmouth bass trip under Rapid River Outfitters. My good buddy Roy Akins runs the outfit. He's a very well-known steward for the Salmon River fishery and beyond. Chasing smallies with a long-time good buddy, Brian Ward, and his dad, Craig Ward, and we're having some success, I would say. I got my first guide's license, oh, shoot, probably dang near 15 or 16 years ago, but I hadn't been doing it full-time. Back then I was guiding in Stanley, doing a couple of trout trips here and there, but I've been a full-time guide on the Salmon River now for 8 years, I would say. And my very first trip I ever did for Rapid River Outfitters was a bass trip just like this one, probably about 8 years ago today. No, I've been rafting and fishing my whole life, and I've always had not only an infatuation for fishing, but I've been even more so infatuated with the river itself, mostly, and fishing out of a drift boat is a very traditional way to do things, you know. And but I fell in love with fishing when I was just a kid. But there's so many other things other than the catching of the fish that really captured my soul, if you will. Like rowing my boat down the river itself is a very beautiful thing that I fell in love with a long time ago. And so being able to do it for a living is more or less a dream come true. And I've been able to live both of my childhood dreams, because before I did this for a living, I was a musician. More or less got to travel all over the world doing that. But when the opportunity came to fall in with these boys and was given an opportunity to become a full-time fishing guide 11 months out of the year, I jumped all over that, and I don't regret it one bit, for sure. I get asked a lot, you know, what do you do on your days off? Well, the truth of the matter is I go fishing. Because I really like catching fish too. And when I'm guiding, it's not a bad thing at all, but I don't get to personally catch very many fish. And so 9 days out of 10 on my days off, you'll find me right here doing the exact same thing. A lot of times by myself too, which I don't mind doing at all. Rapid River Outfitters is based out of Riggins, Idaho. Right downtown Riggins on the Salmon River. And we're permitted for about 175 miles of river to fish. But Rapid River Outfitters also has a sister company called Fly Fish McCall, where Roy and I will run fly fishing trips for trout out of the McCall area, which is probably about an hour south of Riggins here. But Riggins also happens to be, they call it the whitewater capital of the world. So there's, if you like being on the river, this is the place to be, no doubt about it. Most of our clientele, it seems like either it's kind of a word of mouth deal. You know, Rapid River Outfitters was founded in 1980 by a legendary old boatman named Kerry Brennan. And he has built quite a reputation over the years, and also, he's picked up a few of us guides along the way, but I would say that probably 50% of our clientele come from all over the world. I mean, one of my most favorite clients, Ole Borgesen, I fished with him yesterday for king salmon, comes all the way from Norway to fish the Salmon River. I've got clients that come from Turkey, I've got a couple clients that live in Mexico, Canada, all over the world. So I'd say 50% of the clients come from all over the world, as far as you can imagine. But then I'd say that the other 50% comes around the Northwest, if not just like the Boise area, because we're only 3 hours away from the Treasure Valley. And it's quite a nice escape from the traffic lights and the chaos of the city. We don't have Chinese food, but my favorite old client name was Lonnie Ambrose. And he was kind of a legendary old fisherman in his own right. Anyway, long story short, there's this phenomena that happens during the spring salmon run where if the river comes up above 50,000 CFS, there's a rapid probably 70 miles down below us here called the Slide Rapid. And it gets big enough to where even the spring salmon, as powerful as they are, can't swim up past it, right? So every day that rapid's above 50,000, the fish just stack up, stack up, stack up, stack up, stack up. Well, as soon as that river relaxes below 50,000 cubic feet per second, here they all come. Thousands and thousands of fish come up the river at the same time. And one day, Lonnie and I were fishing spring salmon together right down here. And if you're in your good fishing spot, let's call it 3 days after the river relaxes, like I said, every fish coming up the river is going to swim right through you. Well, Lonnie and I were down here, timed it just perfectly, and we got 25 takedowns on a spring salmon. And so that was probably my favorite moment. And the only reason we got 25 bites, a lot of you are probably thinking, well, it's only a 2 or 3 fish limit most time, maybe 1 fish limit. Well, Lonnie, bless his heart, was kind of so old and brittle that the rod would slam off and he couldn't necessarily get up to it fast enough or whatever, or he couldn't get it out of the rod holder, and the reel would still be screaming, right? And he'd just give up on it. He'd sit down. Oh, God, well, I'll just get the next one. It's like, well, dude, I mean, the fish is still there, you know, if you want to try again. But anyway, that's the trip that comes to mind. That was my favorite guiding day, was going 6 for 25 on spring salmon. And I believe it was, last weekend of May 2022. We were just out here having the time of our lives, man. Me and an 82-year-old man were, and the 82-year-old man, I mean, he was acting like a 12-year-old. He had to be there, but it was pretty cool. That's probably my favorite day.